Redditors that worked with a dating company, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, etc. What's the most insane user stat or behind the scenes fact you found out about? A couple met on the dating app I worked on. Unfortunately, the man passed away, and the lady returned to the app where they met for remembrance. One day, a bug in the system made some profile likes to be sent again after months, and she received one from her deceased boyfriend. Her bug report was heartbreaking. A dude with over 2,000 right swipes and no matches. Lots of gay guys get banned from Grindr selling weed. Would get a lot of emails of why am I banned. Go to their profile and will say HMU for that. Most dating sites and apps are owned by one company, the Match Group. They have a near monopoly. I think Bumble is one of the few not owned by them. This was years ago now, but I used to work with a guy who had been an engineer for Match.com. He said 99% of the profiles were inactive, and that 80% of the active profiles were men. He didn't provide numbers, but also said there was a huge disparity between the average number of messages sent to women versus those sent to men. According to him, all told the site was mostly men reaching out to dead profiles and never getting responses. As I said, however, this was years ago, so it's entirely possible that they've cleaned the site up since then. I used to moderate OkCupid. The amount of unsolicited pictures men would send women, not even accompanied by any words, was horrifying. I mean, you'd expect it, because online dating is a cesspit, but the sheer amount would still surprise you. I had to look at each reported picture and say yes, that's a penis. I worked for Match for a couple years. This is probably widely known, but women frequently lie about their age and weight and men lie about their height and salary. Also, it's a big problem that women are inundated with DMs, while most men get none. This is probably going to get buried. I used to work for Shag.co UK as a content creator. And by that I mean it was me who replied to messages from users. I used to get paid between 11p and 18p per message, with bonuses for hitting certain message amounts. It was mostly horny guys who just wanted to chat and get off, but I met some interesting people. One, a 60s guy whose wife had died a few weeks prior, hadn't had Shreks in years, needed a release. Spoke at length of how he had picked me because I looked like his dead wife in her prime. 2. A guy who was in his 80s who was an XXXX star, sent multiple links to his videos and such. We spoke at length regarding his trips to Africa and all the charity work he'd done. 3. A lot of obvious pedophiles, rapists etc. It was pretty scary what people would admit to with enough pushing. 4. A lot of guys who would agree to whatever weird fetish I dreamed up on that day. Horny people be horny. It all came to an end for me when a guy told me his dad had died that morning and he wouldn't be around for a while. I got reviewed for my reply, which was, "I'm really sorry for your loss. If you need to talk, I'll be here for you." They suggested that I should have replied, "Do you not care about me? I have needs too." Just realized that the site owners really just didn't give a crap at all. I used to work at Bumble, although this was about 4 to 5 years ago. Globally, about 90% of the users are men, so there is a huge male to female disparity, although it's not that bad on a per country basis for some countries. The most depressing stat though was the histogram of word count in messages. Something like 91% of opening messages were just one word hey, and 85% of conversations were just one exchange long, hey, no reply ever. Looking at human digital mating habits played out in data science form was really depressing. Update, yikes, this thread really exploded. Some people have asked me a lot of the same questions, so I'm providing answers here. When I worked there, we were not allowed to read the content of chats, only gather metadata about them, word count, number of exchanges, but we could not build models which analyze the content of chats. This chat was about food, this one was about holidays, this one was Shrekshal. This was due to stringent GDPR draft rules/TOS/privacy rules at the time, and Bumble took user privacy very seriously, so chats were never read or analyzed for content, not even by automated models. However, this was 4 to 5 years ago, and they may have mended their TOS. since then to allow it, or they might be analyzing content for non-GDPR countries, USA. Therefore, as others have pointed out, we don't know for sure that the word used most often was actually hey. It could have been hecka or howdy. In the office, we always assumed it was hey due to our own experiences on the app. But we did know with certainty that 91% of first messages used only a single word, so we guessed it was hey. The countries which had better male-female ratios, which I can remember, were the Nordic ones. Sweden and Norway were close to 50/50, and for a time, one of them even had more women on the app than men. Not sure how it is now. The GDPR rules were released in 2016. Even earlier draft rules for some industries such as banking/finance and telecoms, but were not actually enforced until 2018. This grace period of 2 years was so that firms could implement all of the massive legal and technical protocols for GDPR, and many compliance/tech departments in London did nothing but a mad dash sprint for 2 to 3 years straight to get GDPR compliant before the 2018 deadline. As such, Bumble was already GDPR compliant, at least in terms of user chats. Don't know about other aspects. Well before 2018, as I said, they took user privacy seriously, even before GDPR. We weren't allowed to read chat messages due to a combination of user privacy toss, specific to Bumble, and GDPR draft rules. I just wrote GDPR as a catch-all term for all of the various privacy rules in effect then, including toss. But yes, I agree, the rules were not enforced yet. I apologize that I wasn't specific. I wrote my reply quickly this morning not thinking it would explode like this, and so just blurted out GDPR without getting pedantic about which rules in which years. Apologies for any confusion. All these numbers are pulled from my memory of what I saw 4 to 5 years ago, and thus are not canon law or academic paper worthy. Update 2. Thank you most kindly for all of the awards, kind strangers. I very much appreciate it. We used to create fake accounts and chat with users. It was everything from someone having a premium account that wasn't getting responses to bored employees. Should put a serious tag on this. I'm genuinely curious about the answers. My ex-BF worked for the Yahoo Italy dating site back in the early-ish 2000s. His job was to pretend to be a woman and message male customers just as their accounts were going to expire. This would encourage them to pay to renew their subscriptions. Once they renewed, he would ghost them. He only lasted for a few months due to how unethical it was. Not been working, but a friend wrote her master thesis about the different criteria in online dating and real life. Almost half, 43%, the female participants who were in a relationship told they'd never have swiped right on their current partner. Other interesting results were that over 60% of men they wrote with on apps and agreed to go on a date would have no chance if they asked in real life. I would love to know how openly cynical the algorithm really is. My feed on Hinge shows absolutely no one I'm interested in. And suddenly, the roses feature pops up. I'm interested in all the people in the roses section. But, oh, it's £4 to buy one rose. Which is no guarantee of a match, much less a date. They want to keep you using the app and spending money for as long as possible, and their slogan designed to be deleted is such BS it's comical. And you can't turn to other apps because they're all owned by the same corporation. I have a friend who works for, I wanna say Tinder. Anyway, the company isn't important. What is important is that her entire job is to remove inappropriate images. Her job is to look at pages pics all day. 5 days a week. That's all. No stat. Just a weird freaking job. I'd really be interested in what someone working at Ashley Madison or Glidden has to say. Okay, so I didn't work with a dating company per se, but I helped software engineers optimize their profiles. Men get very few matches, regardless of how good their profile is. Women get a lot of matches, but most of those matches are useless. Guys swipe right on 47% of profiles. Women only swipe right on 12%. I knew some guys would swipe right more than women. Wasn't prepared for how little women swipe right. Edit. Here's some more. Searching for serious or casual relationships for men vs women. 61% of men want something serious, while 38% want something casual. 87% of women want something serious, while only 13% want something casual. It's worth noting on that last one that it's partially because of a difference in how men and women would describe themselves if they are not sure. Women would rather say something serious if they are not sure to see how something goes, but happy for it to turn casual if they are not feeling it, while men would prefer to say something casual and then happy for it to turn serious if they like them. This is why we've given in and added a not sure option in our big update next week. Feedback on chat/users. We are unique in that we only let you chat to 3 users at a time, so you have to end a chat to talk to someone new. When you end a chat you have to give private feedback. Here's some of the feedback people choose. You can pick more than one. 34% ghosted/didn't say anything, 12% great chat, 11% polite and respectful, 11% not enough in common, 8% no chemistry, 8% hard to talk to, 2% rude/inappropriate. People ghost. We call ourselves the anti-ghosting app because we notify you if someone replaces your chat with someone new. Since you can only talk to 3 at a time, doesn't stop rejection, but at least you're not left wondering and waiting. We did some research with users to find out why people ghost on dating apps. They could choose more than one answer. 43% avoid the awkwardness of saying I wasn't interested, 37% they said/did something I didn't like, 36% was too busy and then it was too late, 32% couldn't be bothered to keep replying, 28% I forgot to reply, 25% couldn't think of a reply, 23% too many other people to respond to, 22% I've never ghosted anyone, 6% other source. I'm the founder of a dating app, Reddit too. Thanks for all the awards, support, and kind words. Seriously means a lot. Have tried to answer as many questions as I can and might even do a proper AMA when we launch our big update next week if there's interest. That's it for now. Thank you for watching the video. Leave your comments below. See you soon.